Hey everyone, we're here with a little bit of a different setup today. Going to see what Spirit's got to say. We have the full moon in Leo that has passed already. So got the Moonology out, and we have the Animal Guides Tarot. This is a tarot technically and not oracle, but no, we're going to go with this as an oracle. And we have the Mermaid Tarot. So we are just vibing today. Going to get the answers we need. And when I was asking my guides what the message is going to be or who the message is for today, they're like someone in their mid-30s, like 35 years old, a woman who has everything, but she's too scared to take risks. So I was like, okay, specific. So maybe we just need a specific message for those of you that are watching. Let's feel the energy. Ooh. We've just started February. This is the month that we have our first solar eclipse of the year, as well as around the same time going into the Lunar New Year, the year of the horse. So the next few weeks are about wrapping up a lot of old cycles, becoming enlightened. And so those of you that have maybe been putting off the inevitable, or you're just kind of waiting for that last piece of reassurance or validation. I mean, it's going to just be more an internal push coming through in the next few weeks versus you getting that through an individual. And so I think a lot of women right now are struggling with letting go of their addiction to the distorted feminine, which is the version inside of you, us, whatever, that has that codependency on, oh, I need the 3D confirmation, I need the 3D validation, whatever it is. So let's see what's coming through for this full moon in Leo. Spirit, please, for individuals that are resonating, please, what's the message for the full moon in Leo? We have a win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra, that we'll be having in 2 months. Surrender to the divine. Yeah, so this shed is catapulting you into the next 2 months. We have the full moon in Libra during Aries season, which is when the spring equinox is. And so, right, okay, yes. So in the next few weeks, we're going to be starting Mercury retrograde. Right now, we're in kind of this pre-shadow period of Mercury retrograde. Could be bringing back past communication. Could be bringing up, like you're revisiting communication in a new way, even more so than a usual Mercury retrograde, because we're in Aquarius season, and the Aquarius is detached, doing things new, having new, fresh perspective, being a thought leader. So maybe there's some unique ways that you're revisiting past contracts, relationships, or things that have been in your field. And this is going to create a little bit of an imbalance because you're truly going based on your intuition and blind faith versus the predictability. In the next few months, you're going to see that there's a lot more clarity coming forward, and that the scales of balance, this is like proceeding with trust, right? That trust precedes the manifestation. I've done 2 episodes on manifestation basics the last few weeks on my Spotify, and 3 videos on my YouTube. So if you need some more insight as to why this happens, more specifically the last Spotify episode, like why there are delays or why it takes time to show up, things like that. If you're having trouble in understanding the logic of it, you can go and look at that or listen to that podcast. Throat chakra's acting up. So definitely some communication coming in. The end of a tough cycle approaches. So yeah, it's like the last few months have been treacherous for some of you. Don't let your past hold you back. So even though you don't have certainty, even though you don't have clarity, these next few months are like you're choosing you, mainly to the divine feminine. You're like, a lot of you are not caring about what it's going to look like anymore. And that's such a powerful place to be, because for a lot of time you've been so stuck on, this is what my manifestation needs to look like. This is what it needs to have. This is how I want to create it. And because you're shifting a lot now and you're gaining clarity, you're using your voice, you're asserting your worth and value, you're seeing that you can be happy even without these things that you thought that you once wanted. If any of you are struggling with this, we can do self-concept work and transitioning. Like, some of you do need the support and help in whatever way that is, whether that's through actual coaching with me or another person, or like you're so used to like maybe the eldest daughter syndrome of I got to figure out everything on my own, or you've been an outcast. Like, every spiritual person, every healer, every person that's on an ascension or awakened path needs the support. You can't do it alone. A part of your shedding is learning that you need to lean on your soul family or other individuals for support, and healing that, not in a way of codependency, but in a way of seeing that I can love again, I can trust again. And the way in which you regulate your nervous system is by having those healing experiences. It's not by isolating. Isolation is a key component, but you isolate to reflect, you isolate to grow, you isolate to have a new perspective. And you need to emerge and then have new life experiences that show you that life is now different, that your tolerance is different, that your expectations have manifested, that your boundaries are valued, that you can stand up for yourself. How are you ever going to know? And so some of you need assistance in that bridge of the trust. So that's me. If you're looking for any coaching or healing or assistance and getting over the bridge, which is like the last manifestation video I did 2 Fridays ago. Okay, overall oracle for today. This is a tarot, but we're going to take it as an oracle. We're going to see what message comes through from the book here. Just one card, please. Just one card, please. Just one card, please. Some of you are up at night. Some of you are having a hard time sleeping, and that's because you're able to shift more when majority of the world is asleep, or at least in your vicinity, because we're all in different time zones. We have the 10 of Fire, the 10 of Wands, the Saint Bernard dog. You're working far too hard, and the stress will soon become too much. Reach out for help from others and take some time to play and enjoy life, because you're trying to find some answers that you are a little bit blocked to right now, because there's this resistance of seeing the world in a new way. And so these burdens don't need to be carried alone. You're able to vent and talk to people and feel supported, okay? And the one thing I always say about conventional therapy is great, but talk therapy doesn't work for a lot of people and, you know, highly intellectual individuals, because it's about going into the feeling, right? And so if that's been something that's difficult for you, like, you know, intellectually why things are happening, but it's like, well, what feelings do I want to experience instead? And how do I get myself into the space of openness to experience that? Well, how do you? What's your answer? If you don't know, then that's where the growth is required. Okay. Take them. All right. We got the Ace of Pentacles. We're using the Mermaid Tarot. It's been so long. The Devil. Interesting to see the full moon and Capricorn card come out. We have the Hierophant. We have the Knight of Pentacles. And we have the Seven of Swords. Yeah, a lot of you are really skeptical. You've been burned so many times in the past that you would rather disassociate and disconnect from your emotion versus keeping your heart chakra open. And that is what is keeping you from living like the life that you truly seek right now, or from seeing like even those glimmers of hope. We have the Queen of Wands. You're missing that fire and passion. Like, all these cards are very blue. Like, they're all in this theme. And what you're missing right now is this Queen of Wands. Like, feeling inspired, feeling great, opening up. But like, you are a little cold right now. It makes sense with the Saint Bernard dog. Like, you're stuck in this cold, dreary energy of the world is kind of out to get me, and I'm the one that is going to suffer. And you need to continue to focus on your heart, your expansion, the love that's being poured into you at this time. They're the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. A lot of juggling. You're in between these timelines. You're like, Spirit's kind of saying, take your hands off the wheel. Let Jesus take the wheel. Seven of Wands. You're trying to go backwards, and going backwards because going backwards into what's comfortable, even though you're supposed to not let your past hold you back, is like what is happening right now. In the next few months, the nodes are going to be switching, the North Node and the South Node. So like in the next little while here, you're going to be looking at, well, okay, how can I continue to move forward with blind faith and trust? Because the past doesn't exist just as much as the future doesn't. So a lot of you, because you have a 3D remembrance of what the past is, are continuing to look back there for the certainty, for the clarity. And you think that that's fine and justified because you think you're so smart. You think you're a genius and you have everything figured out based on how things have happened in the past. That's not spiritual. That's your ego. Oh, well, this happened to me before, so fuck this. I'm never going to give this a chance again. That's your ego. That's your self-fulfilling prophecy. That's a low self-concept. And a lot of you think that that is having a high value and self-esteem. It's not. That means you're closed off. That means that everything that you wish for and you dream of actually can't find you because you're a low vibrational being. The moon. You're stuck in your own head. You're stuck in your own emotions. And a lot of that's going to be coming to a head this week right now, where you just need to let it out, journal it out, talk about it. I can feel this coughing for some of you. Maybe you're feeling an opening in your throat chakra. This week, you need to cry, rage, vent, let it all out. Knight of Swords, that's the clarity. Once you do that, once you don't identify with it, and once you say, this is just something that's been living in me that I'm ready to let out, because when we're manifesting something new, we have to let out and purge all the old, whether that's through voice, whether that's through emotions. And for some of you, you're like, this has sucked for me. Yeah, 10 of Wands again with the 10 of Fire, same card. You don't have to carry the burdens alone. Take the help. Take the help. People didn't come before you, or like, I can use myself as an example, like, or even my coach, right? I have a meeting with my coach today. Even though I do this work for a living, I always need to keep myself accountable. You know, we need to keep ourselves accountable as 3D people, or need to just make sure that, you know, like, yeah, we're clear, we're good, we're getting everything out, our worries, whatever it is. And like, people didn't come before you in this line of fire of awakening for you not to take advantage of that. There's a reason why messages are put out. There's a reason why there are collective channels like myself. There's a reason why the support is offered. And so you don't, wanting to figure it out all on your own is very much a colonial, patriarchal survival mode thing. And so deprogramming the why that is, where were you isolated in your life before? Where were you ostracized? Where were you told that your needs and wants were not, they were just stupid in your childhood? And when was that? Why was that? How has that impacted the way in which you seek support now? 3 of Wands in the Chariot. So that's going to be some good reflection for some of you. You're going to be having that clarity this week. It's like this magnifying glass. You're going to be having insight on that this week, looking at it, seeing, and exploring. I'm hearing that's great. Knight of Wands. So definitely a spark of inspiration coming ahead of the solar eclipse that we have in a few weeks. Okay, I got 2 minutes left. All right. What do you want to say for individuals for the next 2 weeks? What's the oracle for the next 2 weeks here? A new start is coming. That is for the new moon. Solar eclipse on February 17th. Luck is on your side. Yeah, so some of you thought that things were going to move a little bit sooner, and they didn't. And so you've started to just focus on other things, and that's not bad. But Universal wants you to be open to the opportunity so you don't sabotage it. 2 of Cups, more specifically in love, harmony, balance, and fulfillment. This is like everything you've asked for is about to show up at your door. Are you going to shut the door saying it's taken too long? Or I've been burned before, I can't do this again? Or are you going to say, you know what, I deserve to have what I want? Yeah, so 4 of Cups, are you going to leave someone out in the cold? And this doesn't mean that there is no accountability. It doesn't mean that you can't have standards. But in the world of manifestation, the past does not exist. So when the future version shows up as a refined version of what you've asked for, you have to be open to that. It doesn't mean you need to accept it. But how are you going to receive that? 5 of Cups and the Emperor. So there's been some loss and regret. There's been some fear. There's been some sadness. But there is a new level of confidence emerging this month. All right. If you want to work one-on-one with me, you can apply via the link in my bio. More details in the description. Let me know if this resonated with you, and I'll catch you guys the next Spiritual Sunday. All right. Happy full moon.